Let's modify our project to be for site survey for 60 days, design preparation 10 days, civil work and excavation work 10 days, laying cable 9 days, installation for skids for 5 days, termination and cutting for cables for 60 days, welding new joint 10 days, commissioning 20 days. In order to see the complete Gantt chart for the project, first method you can use zoom out and zoom in, and you can move by arrows. Second method, you can go to view. After the time scales, you can convert it to weeks or months. If I say by weeks, so you can see the complete project, or by months. Now you can see the project, and also you can readjust the view by zoom in. Third method, just by right click on time scale, you have top tier, middle tier, bottom tier. Time scale option, you can use 1 tier, 2 tier, or 3 tiers. Now you have 3 tiers. Again, time scale, top tier, unit can be in years. Okay, the label, it's how to be look like. Count, it's count by 1. Align, to be center or right or left. And time scale again. Middle tier, it will be a month. Label, it's the name of the month, or the abbreviation of the name of the month, or it can be used the number of the months. Count 1 by 1. Align, to be center. Okay. Now this is the middle tier. Again, time scale. Bottom tier, it will be by days. Label can be 01, 02, 03, or name of the days, Sunday, Monday, and etc. Count 1 by 1, or every 2 days, every 3 days. Align, to be in center. Let's say every 2 days. After that, you can use zoom in and zoom out again in order to adjust the view for the complete Gantt chart for the project. Some of you have a question: if this task have just only one relation with another task, for example, installation for a skid, it's just have only one relation with task number 7 with the laying of cable. Yes, this is can be, but also any task can have a multiple relations with another tasks in MS project. Installing skid, double click, predecessor. We can say this task have a relation with 7 and with task 5 and with task 6. Okay, now the predecessor, you can find it's have a relation finish to start between all these 3 previous tasks, and we can see here in our graph this relation, it's totally appeared. Okay, my friend, also in predecessor you can write it 5, 6, 7, whatever the arrangement, but between each task ID you must use comma. If you have a project and you wanted to know the calendar of this project, first of all, go to project information. You can find here our project, it's follow calendar, night shift calendar. Okay, this is one. Second, change working time. Okay, you can find here for calendar night shift option. You can find the default starting working time from 12 AM to 12 hours per day. In our sample project, it's 11 hours per week, it's 77 days per month, it's 30. Okay, my friend. There is some tasks in the project maybe doesn't follow the calendar for the project. For example, excavation, maybe it's have another calendar. Design preparation, maybe it's have another calendar. If you double click in any project, okay, go to advanced. After that you can find there is a calendar here. It's a 24-hour calendar. It's for this project. Okay, we can modify it to night shift. We are now in the phase of project plan preparation. First of all, we identify the tasks and identify the calendar all over the project, and after that identify a special calendar which will be assigned to special tasks. After that, we identify the complete duration for each task and the start and the finish of each task by the relation of predecessor, which means the relation between all tasks. And in the third phase, we assign resources. First of all, it's budget resources, and after that, actual resources which are assigned to tasks of the project. Now we can say we have a project, but it's in raw material. Okay, before doing anything to the project, you have to make archive. This is my own methodology and I found it's very powerful. From file, save as, let's go to specific place. I already have a place here, metering skid. Okay, and let's rename it 00 install metering skid, and the original file I will rename it started with 40. Okay, this is the original. We can say raw project. Okay, save. After create first archive file, now we need to set a base point for the project. What is a base point? It's a snapshot for a complete project schedule, contain information about tasks, resources, and assignment. Here from project, we will go to set a baseline for the project. And here, just click in OK. Now you have a baseline. If you go to set a baseline again, set a baseline, you will find there is a baseline for the project. It's today date. Okay, just cancel this. Now you have your baseline for the project. And this is our second archive file. I will say file, save as. I will go to the same project place and I will write here instead of raw project, I will say base line, and I prefer to put a date 02/01/23. Save. So now this is the second archive file. After our second save for the project with a baseline as we archive here, and this is baseline date. Let's say we pretended we are at the 6th of January and we need to make a complete update for the project. We will update the actual percentage of completion of the tasks and even the actual resources which can be used or will be used all over the task if there is any modification. So we need to identify our date. If we pretend we are at the 6th of January, you can go to project status. Here status date can be selected, or from project information status date. Let's say pretend we are at the 6th of January. This is okay. Now you have here 6th of January. It's your status date. After that you can go to here, right click, grid lines, and this is the status date. Type solid, color I prefer to be red. Now you have your status date line. In order to update the project, you have to go to square icon box here, and after that right click. We are in entry table. We need to go to tracking table. In this tracking table you can find actual start, actual finish, percentage of completion, and etc. But we need to add one more column. Just right click, insert column. Let's write duration. Okay, you have the duration column. Now you have a complete duration of the project. Okay, let's update this task. We will say it will not take 6 days from the reality, and from the actual estimation after the start of the project we can say it will take 10 days. Okay, and the complete percentage of the task, we can use two methodology. First of all, and I prefer to use this column, the percentage of completion, or from task you can go to schedule. You can find some lovely themes here. For example, here it's 0% of completion, here it's 25% of completion, here it's 50%, 75, 100% of completion. Okay, let's pretend we will have about 50% of completion of the project for site survey task. Okay, from this task. Now you can see here in the graph 50% of completion of the task. After our second archive for the project with a baseline 02 of January, so let's pretend we are at 6 of January and we need to update the project. You need to identify a status date. From project status you can select your status date, or from project information you can go to status date and select status date. If we are at 6 of January, just OK. So now in status you can find this is the status date. Also, if you need to modify this status date, you can change this status date from here by selection. OK. And here, right click, grid line, status date to be solid and the color to be red, just in order to be shown in the graph. If we go to square icon box, it's here, just left click and right click after that, you can find here we are in the table which called entry table. Here it's tracking table. In the tracking table you can modify or track your project. It's contain actual start date, actual finish date, percentage of completion, remaining from the duration of the project, and etc. Just we can modify the width of the task name column. In order to prepare our table to update the project, just insert column, duration column. This is the duration column. Okay, and after that you can go to timeline. You can find the project will be finished by 21 of June. Okay, let's we say this project have actual start at 30 of the month, not will be at 26 as we plan. So the site survey, this is the first task of the project, it will be actual start at 30 of the month. So now you can see there is a deviation happen. First of all, if we started the project at 30 of December, you can find there is a deviation by 24 of June. So the project will be completely delayed. It if we wanted to see this delay, just go square icon box, here variance. From variance you can find there is a delay at the first task from start by 2.27 days, taking consideration the date and the time of modification or update. So this is 2 days and about quarter of the day. At the end you can find the complete project, it's delayed by variance of finished by 2 days and 0.7 of the day. Let's return to tracking table. Here, right click, tracking. We can say also site survey will not take 6 days, it actually will take 10 days. So the complete project is delayed to 4 of July. Okay. And the percentage of completion of this task, let's we say till now it's 20%. So now we have 20% of site survey, it's actually completed. Okay, from here we can update the percentage of completion. Also from tasks, you can find here in schedule a very lovely tools, 0% of completion, 25% of completion. If we just press it, you can find this 25, 50% from completion, 75 or 100, but let's we return it to 20% of completion. Okay, so this is 20% of completion of the task of site survey. If we go to site survey task and we select mark on track, just mark on track, this means the percentage of completion it's the same percentage of the plan, so there will be no deviation for this task. Let's return to variance. We can find inside survey, after we updated it by mark on track, 2.27 days variance from start. In the site survey you find the start variant is delayed by 2.27 of the day, because the start of the project it's already delayed to 30 of December. But if we go to tracking and we modified the percentage of completion to 20% and return it back to variance, we can find here the start variance, it's the delay from start, it's 2.27, but the finish variant, it's modified to 6.27. Because we have first delay, 2.27 days from start, and second, we update the duration for task from 60 days to 10 days by deviation of 4 days. So the summation of 4 days and 2.27 will be 6.27. Let's return back to tracking. As we see here in project, the status date at 6th of January, but if we make a zoom in to the graph, we can find here there is the percentage of completion, it's about 20%, and we already in delay. Also, you can go to task, Gantt view, and after that you can go to tracking Gantt. In this tracking Gantt you can find you already in delay by also right click, grid line, status date, be solid, the color to be red. Now you can see what is the percentage which should be completed during this time, but here there is a delay in the completion percentage. For this task, just double click on task, on note, You can write the reason of delay in task note. Here in the indicator column, you can read this note. Let's return to tracking. Right click, tracking table. You can find here 20% for site survey, but for project start, it's a summary task, and the summary task contains two tasks, site survey and design preparation, both of them now 14 days. About 20% of site survey is completed, so the overall completion for project start is 10%, and the percentage of the completion all over the project it's 2%, and this is calculated by default. If you try to use Ctrl E to select all tasks, you find it will not working, but just by left click you can select all tasks, or from square icon box here you can select all tasks. By the same criteria we use mark on track, this is mean all tasks will be at the same planning percentage of completion. So we will say mark on track, so this is mean all tasks will be as planned. But Ctrl Z, it's not the reality in our example. After finalize update the project, now this is our third archive. From file, save as, folder for the project, I will rename it 001 installing Skid, and instead of Skid baseline I will choose update. This update was for 06 of January 23. Save. Now you save the project. Okay, as we see here, you have the project. This is the raw project. Second, the project with the baseline and identify the date of the baseline. Third, this is the update, and this is arranged in a proper order. In order, if you have any problem in the project or there is any issue in the update, you can return to the previous version of the project before update. Let's return to our project. Square icon box, right click variants. You can find the project totally delayed by about 60 days. In order to compensate this delay, you can add more resources in order to compensate the delaying in the site survey task or in another task, or you can modify the total duration for all other tasks. By the way, we are in variants. You can also add new column duration. Okay, and you can also update here, but I prefer all the time to update my project in the tracking table. Okay, now you have remaining duration of the project. For example, we finish in our site survey 2 days, so we have 8 days in order to finalize our project. One of the targets of the project planner, or even for project manager, to make the variant finish variant for the project to be 0. But take care, maybe we are capable to modify the finish variant to be 0 by adding more resources. For example, more tools, more equipment to be used, more engineers, more technicians in order to compensate the delay. But this reflection will be on cost, so it must be estimated and calculated exactly, and also it must have approval from project manager, decision makers, for example shareholders, Thank you for your time. See you at the next session.